Selfish. Too selfish.
N-E-W-S-O, Imogen Mary E. God bless, brother. I just want to give you something from the solutions we prepared. We came down here with solutions and were turned away at the door. Something that we've been working on for quite some time is the Blue Wall Bill, where officers will be punished for willfully deceiving the public via reports. If a cop writes an intentionally false report, then that cop gets prosecuted. One of the things that my sister has mentioned was any NYPD officer with 15 or more allegations should receive an independent psychiatric evaluation. Their behavior should be reviewed by an independent body. Eric Durand and Timothy Brown. How does the cooler killer tie into the beating in a liquor store? Eric Durand's first incident that we paid money on as a settlement was he beat somebody who was cuffed on the floor. The cooler killer's first incident was pummeling someone in the face. That cop was sent away. He was a ticking time bomb who exploded and was found guilty of manslaughter. And what did we see? A week after his sentencing, we saw two cops do the same thing. One of those cops had 50 allegations. At what point do New Yorkers say we've paid out over $100 million in settlements for police brutality? That money can go into education. That money can go into so much more. That's what we were bringing to Commissioner Tisch, who did not want to hear what the people had to say. Commissioner Tisch categorically disrespected Black New York. We represent many Latinos. She disrespected Latino New York. Make no mistake about it, all of the cases that have been in the media, we have been advocating for with our special brand of advocacy, and she ignored us. And that's disgusting. Any questions?
Could you tell us, who was the mediator who first called you?
The mediator who,
later?
absolutely. The mediator who reached out to us was Reverend Kevin McCall. He set up that meeting that took place this morning with the victims' families. And he set up the meeting with us, with advocates, afterwards. So we were on our way down here in 15 minutes away from this point. On the FDR, I received a phone call saying that we were to meet with Community Affairs. I have no desire to be pacified. I came down here to present solutions. Everybody knows my firebrand of advocacy. Everyone knows how Hawk is. Hawk came down here and extended an olive branch, and my hand, the hand of Black Lives Matter Greater New York, was snacked away, and they spat on our work and our desires and our efforts.
Who called you to say the meeting was off, and they explained why?
Reverend Kevin McCall. The words were, they were scared.
They were afraid.
You are unpredictable.
Correct.
Well, why should we be predictable? Are we supposed to sit up there and say yes to everything they say? Are we not supposed to advocate for the people? Are we not supposed to disagree for the people of New York? Are we not supposed to say fire the cops that beat Timothy Brown immediately? Are we not supposed to say, Commissioner Tisch, you owe an apology to the Dupree family? A cop was found guilty of killing their loved one, and you never called to say sorry.
So this wasn't rescheduled with her. This was just given to
Yeah,
we were past
they passed us off to
And you
Community Affairs.
did not meet with them.
No,
No,
I refuse
absolutely
to.
not. It's
I refuse to. Profanity. A lot of bleep, bleep, bleep that I have to come bleep, blam, bloom down here. Exactly. Yeah.
Mr. Newsom, just on a related topic, before the sentencing of Sergeant Dupree, Duran, excuse me, he had, you had visited the office of the Bronx Borough President.
Yes.
We spoke with a representative of her office last week, and they said that they had reached out to Black Lives Matter to arrange a meeting prior to that. Do you have any comment on that?
I don't know what Black Lives Matter they reached out to. Vanessa Gibson has my sister's personal phone number. Here's the problem that we have with government. When we worked on the Dupree case, we run a leadership institute for at-risk teams, the same ones everybody's running around that's worried about shooting up things. We run leadership institutes. Every year, those students reached out to different politicians. Vanessa Gibson, Shanae Jenkins, all of them. okay? They reach out to all of these people and they receive no response. So I would call them liars if they say they reached out to us. This year, after saying for years there is no hope trying to have conversations with this system, we tried and they spat in our faces.
Any other questions, guys?
What are your thoughts on Eric Durant getting released today?
That's another blow. I thought that it had happened over the weekend and we had issued a statement. I find it absolutely appalling. I've never seen justice come so swift. Any incarcerated person would tell you applying for an appeal would take months and years. We have to think back, since people want to talk about victims' families, we have to think about Khalif Browder, who sat on Rikers Island for 3 years and was never convicted. Eric Durant was a killer, and it's embarrassing that it was a miscarriage of justice, and it continues to show us, as we see standing out here outside of One Police Plaza, justice is not fair for all. The blue wall protects people from state-sanctioned killings. It's appalling that the judge would go back on the word of Judge Guy Mitchell, who's a prosecutor, who worked in narcotics, who reviewed every single detail. It reminded us that Black and Brown this morning, with Eric Durant being released and allowed another additional 2 years, almost 4 years, after he murdered a father of 3, it shows us that Black and brown bodies don't matter here, that they can continue to kill us, that no one, the police commissioner, wants to hear us. And even if we think we win in court, the rules change after we win.
The judge indicated he didn't think he was a flight risk. However, are you worried that this is a precursor to maybe the actual conviction being reduced? The sentencing.
For the family of Eric Dupree, I can't say it looks like justice won't be served, but I can call a lie a lie. There's 17 allegations, and New Yorkers' tax dollars have already paid for Sergeant Durant's brutality. He has been a danger at least 17 times prior to him murdering Eric Dupree. He is a threat to society. And not only that, look at the symbolism of what releasing him does. It reminds cops and reinforces police brutality. It lets them know that they can get away with killing us without recourse. As we've seen has it even been 10 days since he was sentenced? We've seen 2 different cases of police brutality where cops are punching unarmed people who cannot defend themselves. So I think that the boys in blue are back, and they're back with a vengeance for Black and brown bodies this summer.
I'm sorry. To touch on what my sister said, you never hear about everyday New Yorkers being released on bail after being convicted of a homicide, especially a week later. When does this happen? This is what we call police privilege. And what they're saying yet again is, we can kill you, we can beat you, and nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. And when people come to fight for you, we'll disrespect them. But maybe what we need to do is get some rallies going. Maybe what we need to do is get some churches involved, right? Maybe what we need to do is get some people out in the streets so they can understand. You understand, we gave them the benefit of the doubt. We didn't shut down traffic. There were no mass rallies. We gave them the benefit of the doubt and tried to be civil and have meetings. They ignored us. They ignored us.
What were you hoping to tell the commissioner regarding what happened with Eric Durant, since it was in the court system and not in the
Absolutely. I think that the NYPD owes the Dupree family an apology. While on duty, a police officer picked up a prohibited object and smashed someone's skull with it. The cooler killer killed someone with a cooler. He stole that life. This wasn't just allegations and accusations. He was found guilty. Therefore, and sentenced. Therefore, the city of New York, including Mayor Mamdani, who has completely ignored the Dupree family, the city of New York and the NYPD owe this family an apology. Politicians who did not come to their aid owe this family an apology. Imagine these representatives. Anytime something happens to a cop, they're always there. They're sending flowers there at the hospital. A cop kills your family member, and the mayor doesn't even say, hey, I'm sorry. The police commissioner doesn't extend an apology. We're just asking for basic decency. Do what a normal human being would do. Human beings do that to other humans. But through their actions, they show us that even after all these hundreds of years and decades and days, that they don't value our lives, that we are less than human to racists and to law enforcement bodies, and to the courts, of course. Because a $300,000 bail is a slap in the face for a convicted killer.